First of all, first thing I want to ask is that in the second quarter, I know NC State went on a big run, and you called some timeouts, and then your team went on like a big run, closed out the half, down 3. What did you tell your team during the timeout, and how did you see them respond?
We switched defenses. We switched defenses. Simple as that.
And what was the difference between the first defense and the second defense that made an impact?
Well, the first one was pressing it the full length of the floor, and we weren't getting to where we needed to go. That's a disappointing to me, because I really want us to believe and to know what we need to do. We'll look at that in the breakdown. But in the other, we didn't press them at all at the three-quarter court or full court position. We went into a zone, and it allows us to save ourselves, probably be more efficient offensively, and it broke their momentum. That's what happened.
All right. And so what were the overall positives for the game?
Well, a win is a win. I thought that we gutted it out. Again, I'm hoping that we continue to learn. For example, recognizing that we're up, what was our strength? Do we need to go inside to attack, to back them off? Player number, 40, whatever, had 4 fouls. Yeah, there you go. We need to recognize, who the people are that have fouls, not settle for jump shots, and know how to win. It's not just playing, with your behind. It's playing with your head, and recognizing how you put people in jeopardy. They continue to play man, so that was good for us. And I thought that we were much more aware of that. We're trying to run patterns that would get people that could finish the ball, and that'll happen with certain patterns that we're running.
All right. What did you think of the defense overall, and how they managed to turn a lot of turnovers into points?
Who they did?
The defense?
I'm sorry, are you talking about ours? You mean our defense?
Yes, your defense, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that's always key, because we're looking for, we've been probably one of the top teams in the country, turning people over, and we turned them over 22 times, but it wasn't even with even a full court 55 press defense. So and given that we've got 3 games this week or whatever, then I guess that's acceptable.
All right. And what areas do you think maybe you want to improve on before the game against Siena?
Well, we don't. You know what? Sad part about this is that we don't have a lot of time to improve. We got to practice tomorrow. I think we practice at 11 o'clock. So our big thing, these guys have got to get an ice bath, go to sleep tonight, get up a decent time. We as coaches have got to get back and look at the next tape and try to forget about this, and practice at 11 o'clock, I think, tomorrow. And all we're going to do is be able to walk through Siena, because that's it, folks. We got a game. The next day. It's not a good schedule at all. However, then after that's done, we got one day to practice, and then here we go, Virginia. So our backs are against the wall, but I think we need to improve the things that we're doing. So we got a chance to see some of the patterns that we were running and the execution and the things that we need to do different. So we'll be ready.
All right. So how would you just sum up in a few sentences this game?
It was a good game on both parts. I thought that the inside people were great. I thought that we continued to get strong as we got further into the game. I thought that Tyler had an exceptional game, but it's really not exceptional for her. It's typical of what she does, so it's nice to see her back on track. And had we played at 55, she would not have been able to play 35 minutes. I didn't even realize she had played that long. She would not have played that long. But on the other hand, we would also score a little bit faster, and we would have taken more shots. We haven't been into 50-some points, 55 shots. We've been taking as much as 65 and 75 shots a game, But we can afford to do that when we're pressing them and we've got the game in the flow. But the good thing about this is that we now know that we can execute. If we don't get the layups and the breaks that way, execute at the half-court level, because at the end of the day, we've got to be able to demonstrate both. I was really pleased with KK as well, because at the end of the day, she and CC, because at the end of the day, we had overall, as a team, we had 10 turnovers. And that's major.
Yeah.
10 turnovers. At this level, yes, it's major.
All right, thank you.
Welcome, thank you.
KK, you were playing in front of the home crowd. How much were they a factor in helping you guys, push through at the end?
It's definitely big for us. We feed off of the energy, and we're a very energetic team. And we've been away a lot, and now we're thankful and grateful for this home stretch that we're about to have. So I'm just hoping that fans keep coming out and we try to pack the rack so we can have momentum going into these games.
Going into the press conference, that was one of the first things you noticed on the box score was the number of turnovers that you guys had. Is that something, a goal that you guys set before every game?
Definitely, especially the guards, being that we handle the ball so much. And we know that if we keep our turnovers down and we execute more, then we have a greater chance of scoring the ball, and that's what we try to do. We pride ourselves on defense, but we know offensively we got to take care of the ball.
Tyler, you moved into 7th on the all-time scoring leaders list. How does that feel for you?
I mean, that's cool, but that's not my objective this season. Trying to get Coach our 1,000th win. So let's keep the attention on that.
Any other questions for Coach and the players?
Yeah, for KK, I know that about halfway through the fourth quarter you hit a big 3 to put Rutgers up 7. How good did that feel to give your team such a big boost?
It felt good, being that I felt like we just needed a bucket. It was kind of like one of those times where we went on like a dry stretch a little bit and we just needed something. So I think it was a big push for us. It got us a lot of momentum, and I'm just glad I hit the shot.
Yeah, and I guess for everyone overall, after about like a rough quarter and a half, I know the first quarter was kind of so-so, and then NC State went on that big run. How important was it to keep to gain the momentum heading into halftime, and then keeping that momentum up in the second half?
Well, it just goes back to when I said we're an energetic team. I just feel like the bench gave off a lot of energy, and as well as the crowd, and we kind of just feed off that. Like you said, they went on a run, but that's the game of basketball. Everybody's gonna go on a run at some point, and theirs happened to be in the second quarter. I just think we adjusted well after that, and we went on our run, and then we got the momentum back. And I think in the third quarter we finally made that push.